Good evening, everybody. This is RPG Limit Break. This is the Thursday night community Final Fantasy Randomizer race. This is also a spring tournament qualifier for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament, coming up soon. I'm DM Stewart 1981. Alongside me in the booth is Woat. How we doing tonight, Woat?
Doing pretty good. Glad to have a chance to talk over some fine Final Fantasy action. And I just resized my preview window so that I couldn't actually see anything, but I have fixed it now. Anyway, yeah, this is, I think, the penultimate qualifier, 14 out of 15.
Yes, it is.
And we have... This actually looks like it might be a fairly, yeah, this is the most variety I think I've seen out of any of the qualifiers I've watched in terms of the on-screen runners and their party selection. Because I see a fighter rainbow, I see black mage, white mage, thief, black belt, I see fighter, thief, red mage, white mage, and fighter, thief, red mage, black mage. Which, with the blur scenes we've got, there's no real obvious pick, so I like it.
Yeah. Just to let everyone know, we've got 4 runners on stream, but we also have a total of 21 in this race.
Yeah, but with the ones we've got on stream, I wouldn't be surprised if any of them manage to snag first place.
Yeah, any one of them are pretty solid runners.
Yeah, so for those of you who have not gotten to catch any of the spring tournament qualifiers up until now, the main things you've got to watch out for, we do have 2 loose items that will be in non-incentive dungeons, which with these flags, I believe, that's going to be Sea and Volcano out of the Fiend dungeons, and then it can also be chests in any of the key-locked locations, plus Titan's Tunnel, Cardia, and Matoya.
There's one exception to that. They cannot be in key-locked Marsh.
True.
Because
Since
Marsh is incentive.
Yeah, and the items cannot be an incentive dungeons flag does not differentiate between the parts of the dungeon you can get into right away and the parts of the dungeon you can get into once you have the key, or any other locking item. So you also will not see loose items in Mirage Tower, even though Sky is incentivized.
Right, because the flags treat all of Mirage and Sky as one dungeon.
Right. But
Which
aside from that, these are probably going to be pretty straightforward. We get a free bridge to start, and we are off.
Let's see what we get in White Magic. We get Harm 3, we get Invis 2. Something to note about these flags. Oh, we get Quad X and Brack at level 1 Black.
Confuse.
Yes, and Confuse, which, ooh, no real sweeper. Well, Harm 3. Harm 3 if you have a White Mage, because
yeah.
White Mage Harm hits all enemies.
Which I think of the 4 runners we have on stream, Fizzle predictably is the only one who doesn't have a White Mage. Fizzle being the godfather of the speed and power principles of Final Fantasy I randomizer running.
I have become a black belt white black runner.
Yeah, not a bad combination, but Fizzle going ahead and going over to Dwarf Cave to check these 2 chests real quick. I think he left a tent back at the fork.
That's a Bane sword, I believe.
Well, that's gonna make... That kind of takes care of that sweeper problem. Because Harm 3 is pretty good, but it does have the problem of, against non-undead, it cannot critically hit.
And Garland gets poison smoked.
See, I'm more of a fan of Quad X and Garland, if you have the option.
That was also going to be the thing. Canal from the king and Kran from Sarah.
So we do have, I believe, extended open progression.
Yes.
So we can walk right over to Northwest Castle, if we so choose.
Gold Cheerio for, was that 42,000 gold?
I wasn't looking. So I don't know.
It was 5 digits, and I believe it was 40 something thousand. And we have a shop item that is a crystal for
That looked to be about 3,500?
3,500 or so?
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone has the... Okay, Fizzle has the money, so Fizzle's gonna go ahead and grab that crystal, and I think...
Yeah, there was a big money chest in Temple of Fiends. And Duskplume has one of our fun percent flags on. Fun enemy names.
Yeah. They're definitely going to enjoy having those. I think we've added some new ones recently. But it doesn't look like they picked up that crystal, because they're running right past Patoya.
Maybe gonna do it on the way back.
Maybe. Since if, say, Biggie has the canoe, it might be a little bit quicker to hit that Matoya location up.
Right.
But we're gonna get the TNT from the old lady today. Was that a +4 iron glove?
I did not see.
Well, whatever it was, that definitely was a +4 piece of iron equipment. Fighters tonight have the malice of no bracelet, aka the most... Yeah, that was a cube off of Vicky.
That was a cube from Vicky.
Yeah, but also known as, I believe, as you put it in the when we were looking at this before, DM Stewart, this is the the lamest malice to actually penalize the fighter, because it's literally like. Yeah, if you're
about the lamest possible malice for a fighter.
If you're strapping a bracelet to your fighter, things have gone desperately wrong.
That's a Fire 3 at level 2. In black.
Yeah.
And a Harm 2, and a Mute, and an X-Fur.
And Ruse. You know, among our incentive items tonight, we do have the Forced Ruse and Forced Saber items. So, Ruse not necessarily a priority spell for your knight, if you class promote, but sometimes that Ruse stick can be buried pretty inconveniently, since it is not a progression item. So it is good to know that Ruse is going to be knight accessible.
And yes, Duskplume is heading up to Matoya.
Alright, so they must have also grabbed that crystal, or they're just checking these chests for the money for the crystal.
That is an Arnbonk +4.
Yeah, no, that is... Okay, yeah, no, so Duskplume didn't grab the crystal, but the money between the pirates and Matoya's cave, they'll have enough for it here. Now, whether or not they backtrack to do that remains to be seen. I will be surprised if they don't, and...
Yeah, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if Duskplume does not go back for that. Oh! Yeah. Oh, is that glare on the imps?
I mean, whatever it is, thankfully they got the turn order to avoid further trouble.
Oof. Glare imps. It's not the worst I've seen.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a pretty generous run off of hard reset. So, yeah, yet. So I'm thinking what Dusk Plume may be thinking here is, alright, I'll run back up to Matoya, see what this is. If it's, you know, not something immediately useful, like, say, the tail or the slab. Well, they've got the cube, so Chime is something you might need to walk out.
But Chime has... But you can't get there. You don't have a ship.
You can't get there, but it's... I don't know, it's one of those things, I think in a situation where I've already got the cube, Chime is, I would consider, like, yeah, I very well might be getting the ship from Astos.
That's fair.
But yeah, that TNT, you're gonna go ahead and go check. You can immediately check that.
I did not notice. Did Shadowmark give the people what they want and talk to Hooray Dwarf?
I definitely saw some hurraying, and we do have lazy dwarves today.
And Adamant goes, yeah, the TNT gives us Adamant. Adamant gives us Chime, as we just said.
I'm feeling a ship out of Astos, or the Marsh Cave at this point.
Oh, early sky.
It's coming. I can feel it in my bones. I think that might have been a slab. Like, I definitely think I saw an S. But we'll see here in a moment with the fanfare.
And I did see... It's a slab.
I'm genuinely impressed I saw that.
It is a silver bonk. There's a silver bonk in the dwarf cave chests.
And Bizzle is immediately going into Marsh, so I think on his end he may be having the same gut feeling I have of this seed may be sending us into Sky early. Sky, like I said, being one of our incentive locations, an early skydive is completely in the cards to hold our progression.
Yeah, I have always hated Marsh Cave. I have hated Marsh Cave since the original game.
Yeah, everyone... So, okay. Marsh Cave, to me, is fascinating in the randomizer, because you hate it in the original because you don't really have all the tools you need to deal with the problems it presents at the time you go into it. Without doing some serious grinding. But in the randomizer, where you do have the tools, the problem becomes, because of the variety of enemies you encounter, it becomes a much more dangerous place because the likelihood of seeing something nasty rises dramatically.
Yeah.
Because, for the folks who are unfamiliar, we have a flag that we called Script Shuffle, which changes around what sorts of things the enemies can do and what sorts of abilities they present, and that is a canoe.
That's a canoe. So I'm thinking Crescent Lake?
Yeah, no, so
I'm thinking Crescent Lake ship?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Canoe opens up both Crescent Lake and Ice Cave, which are incentive locations, but you know what else it opens?
Volcano.
Yeah. Which, Volcano, being a non-incentivized dungeon, means it can have loose items. And Volcano has a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I know far too well. Because I had to full clear Volcano in one of these seeds.
So that leads to the interesting question. What do you do first? Volcano fishing for that loose item? Or Ice looking for that incentive item that you know is there?
Depends on what I get at Crescent Lake.
Good answer.
I had in one of these spring tournament race seeds, one of these spring tournament flag race seeds, it wasn't a qualifier. There were some really awkward, some really awful enemy scripts right off of the reset outside of Corneria. So I didn't get into Matoya. The loose item was in Matoya, and it was my last location.
Oh.
Full cleared. full cleared volcano.
So, okay, here's something
Which
I
is
am gonna
horrible.
here's something I'm gonna point out now that we've had a look at Elfland's magic shops. Well, I think Fizzle's looked at level 3, but we on the backside know what's in level 4, but we'll wait on that one. But just looking at what we know about levels 1, 2, and 3, we do have both Fire 2 and Fire 3 available.
And that was a heal 3.
And Warp.
And Warp. And Fast. And Temper.
I think I'm going to Ice Cave no matter what. With that loadout. Like, Fire 3 and Fire 2 are going to take care of most of the problems that you're going to run into in Ice Cave. And with Warp, you can very quickly check what that chest is. If you're so inclined, look at what's on the eye tile. And, if you don't like what you see, you leave.
Yep.
So I think that with that magic selection, you go to Ice Cave before Volcano.
Yes. Well, I go to Ice Cave before Volcano either way, because I know there's something in Ice Cave. I don't know there's something in Volcano.
The only reason I'd favor Volcano over Ice Cave is to go ahead and get a little more power on my party.
But with a fighter, you're gonna be loot goblining anyway.
Yeah, that's also part of it. Like, so I think the play at this point,
now you've gotten me the usual. You've gotten me the person that always takes black belt, so I don't loot goblin.
Yeah, so I think at this point, what you kind of are looking at is, you go ahead and go over to Crescent, you see what you can see, what the sages have in hand. Oh hey, that's a Quake shirt! Up in the upper right corner of Marsh. I don't know if anyone besides Shadow Mr. T checked that. That could be big, if only because Quake is a decent accuracy AoE instant death.
Yeah.
And one of our lovely trackers for tonight, Karan, pointing out in chat that he doesn't think anyone else did check it either.
I'm 99% sure that no one else on stream checked that. We get Wall out of level 6 white, I noticed, and nothing useful out of level 6 black.
Yeah, most useful thing I'm seeing there is Hold, and there's our ruse stick.
That's a ruse stick.
Yeah. Was that a +1 ruse stick?
Yes.
That... I can't remember off the top of my head, because that's the power stick normally, right?
Yes, that is the power stick.
So that's actually not a bad weapon. I can't remember who can swing that, but, like, I don't actually know if we've seen many weapons that are better than that yet.
So to answer Math Girl in chat, that was a Quake shirt, or a Cake shirt.
Yeah, I don't think we know if that was a black or a white shirt, and I don't think Shadow Mr. T...
I think that has to be black shirt. Looks like Muck. Looks like the Muck has stone.
No, that character's been stoned for a while.
Okay. Okay. There's two shirts. So to answer Math Girl in chat, there's two shirts. One is a white shirt. It's the best armor that the white mage can use. Or the white wizard, rather, can use. The other is the black shirt. It's just about the best armor that the black wizard can use. But they have an attack spell and a defense spell on them.
Right, white shirt is Invis 2, and black shirt is Ice 2 vanilla. Because one of the flags we have on is Item Magic Shuffle, the way that we get around being able to tell what the caster items do is they're renamed to be just the name of the spell they cast. So, the Quake shirt is one of the two shirts. It's not necessarily the black shirt, though.
Okay, I thought the way the flag was, it had to be the white shirt was always defensive and the black shirt was always an offensive.
Nope! Nope! That surprisingly, no one has ever bothered to, like, make that a thing. In spite of the fact that ever since that flag was introduced, there's been a constant question of, wait, is that how this works? And the devs have repeatedly had to explain, no, it just randomly assigns spells. I mean, if you have a thief, and you have that shirt, in this particular scene, you can figure out right away if it's the black or the white shirt.
You could look at it. You could look at it in the armor section and see, because it'll tell you. Because if you hit the select, I think it is.
Yeah.
On it, it'll tell you who can equip it.
Alright, so I think we've managed to kill enough time for the runners to actually get somewhere. So, Fizzle has opted to go to Ice Cave first, while Goat's Pirate opted for the volcano plan. I think both of them took a couple of fights around Crescent to get their levels up.
And
So I
Duskplume has an 4 EXPs, but the EXPs have Blizzard.
Yeah, that is gonna be a quick reset. Unfortunate, but, the nice thing about Crescent is, like, you have that inn right there. It's real quick to reset out and find other stuff. But yeah, so Goat's Pirate going for the... There's a high likelihood of finding one of my loose items here, plus there's just a lot of loot in general play.
Yeah.
Fizzle going for the let's find my key items play. And I think while we were distracted with all of that, what did the sages have? Oh yeah, the
Sages had Ruse Stick.
That's right.
And we're gonna see the warp trick out of Fizzle. That's a ship.
There's our ship. Alright. So, another one of those what would you do questions. You are Lord Fizzlebeef. You have a ship now parked at Provoca.
I also have a slab.
Yeah, but you can't get to Lefane yet.
I can't get to Lefane yet, but I can translate the slab so I don't forget to translate it later.
Well, okay, so at this point, what are our... Oh, okay. I think we have to dive Volcano with that knowledge.
Yeah.
The ship doesn't open up any other progression locations with our current items. No. It opens up Sky.
There's a Vorpal. Yes, the ship does open up Sky.
Okay, so our options at this point, progression goes, we either have to go to Sky, or we have a loose item in Volcano.
It does open up other progression.
Where else can... Where else?
Waterfall.
Oh, we do have a canoe, you're right!
We have a canoe.
I am so okay, it opens up where we're used to.
Massa.
I am so used to not actually having a canoe in these flags.
We have a Massa. Massa is not an incentive item.
Right, Massa's just floating out there, so...
Massa in Ice Cave.
Yeah, so
in
Fizzle...
the sixth chest room at the bottom of Ice Cave.
Yeah, so... This is looking like the seed. If you decided not to bring a black belt, you actually have an advantage. Like with that with a Massa that quick, you just need some decent armor and you're gonna be good to go. Excuse me. All right.
Actually, it kind of gives you an advantage if you brought fighter black belt, white black, because now you've got the Cuisinart and One Punch Man.
Well, okay, so the big advantage that a fighter has over the black belt is you don't have to grind a fighter as high as a black belt.
That's true.
So that's the thing is that Masa basically says, I don't have to grind a black belt. I am saving that time I would be spending leveling a black belt now. It looks like the slimes are actually... Is that the eye chest? Or is that... I didn't see where Goat's Pirate was standing to get this fight, and I don't think Fizzle checked this tile. But that's gonna be good to get those three characters.
That's the mage. That's the mage chest.
Okay, yeah, Fizzle, I think...
tile.
Yeah, I think Fizzle just went
right
Fizzle
around
warp
and
tricked.
Yeah, Fizzle warp tricked.
Well, it's one of those things, some people will check this tile and then do the warp trick, but I think Fizzle just went straight for the incentive chest and didn't even bother looking at that tile.
Yes, that is exactly what Fizzle did. And yeah. I am one of those people that will... I am one of those people that warp tricks. Yeah. Or that checks that tile first, then does the warp trick.
Fizzle remembering that his boat is going to be parked at Provoca because he found it in an ice cave. So...
I'll rephrase that. I'm one of those people who will do that if spike tiles are shuffled.
Yeah.
Because I'm always looking for a good grind tile.
Yeah. It's one of those things for me. Ice Cave is a little too deep for me to, like, be fishing for a grind. I also hate doing static grinds anyway. Like, I'm much more in favor of the, dive ordeals as early as possible, and just take every fight in ordeals that you can, to get your levels up to the point where you can take every fight in the sky to finish out getting your party into the mid-20s.
I would do that, except I've gotten too many thunder mummies, I've gotten too many ambushed thunder mummies, or... other various things like that that are awful in ordeals.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, Fizzle has gotten his ship. Goat's Pirates fished his ship out. Dusk diving for their ship, though they don't know it yet.
And Fizzle finds Nuke. Level 5 Nuke.
Not the best, not the worst.
Level 5 is about the highest place that I check for spells.
Yeah, I'll check level 6 since the magic shops are on your way to Sages anyway, but I don't think many runners check level 7 or level 8 unless there is something they absolutely need that they haven't seen at lower levels. Like, if you haven't seen Faster Temper, you might check the level 7 shops.
And where is Fizzle headed? Is Fizzle gonna head to
I'm thinking Ordeals.
Yeah. Is Fizzle headed Ordeals? That's the other place. That's the other incentive that's opened up is Ordeals.
Yeah, and that's exactly where he's going at.
Yep.
So that's kind of the thing, is like, at the levels he's at, Ordeals is still going to have fights that are worth taking. But not necessarily unmanageable fights. I mean, aside from the spike tiles, which can be anything.
Yeah.
So, let's see. In the meantime, everyone else is kind of following in Fizzle's footsteps. So, except, okay. So here's the interesting thing. Goats didn't dig deeper. I think he got the ship and he bailed.
Yep, I think so.
Dusk, however, is going to at least check some of these chests, it looks like. Well, we'll see after this fight if they're going to...
Oh.
White Ice Dragons with Glare! That's good to know for Topher. Oh, Dusk.
No.
They are skipping over that Maz, so they don't know it's there.
They're skipping over...
It.
It's Mazza and Vorpal over there.
So...
I mean, Vorpal's garbage, but...
It's a -1 Vorpal. It's still... You can still hand that to a ninja, and they'll do work. Like, they'll get enough swings to make that crit chance matter.
Okay. Dusk finds an Aegis shield, which, assuming that Dusk is going to promote, is really freaking good for his fighter going to be knight. Or there, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fighter going to be knight.
Yeah. And I think, unless the tail is really inconvenient, Dusk is gonna promote, especially without that Masa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fizzle has made it to the Pillar Maze, though. I don't think we've seen anything too good out of these first 4 chests. But there's another group of 4 down here, and of course our incentive item. But also
Now there's another one. Those man-cats with stun touch.
Oh, that's
There's a
plus
sun sword.
Sun sword. Yeah, that's going straight onto Fizzle's red mage.
And that's a ruby.
Okay,
So
that's
that will open up. That's going to open up Sarda.
And that also gives us the 4 chests in Titan's Tunnel, which can have one of the loose items in them.
Yes.
So that's probably not somewhere Fizzle's going to go right away. I'm going to guess his next stop is going to be,
I'm going to guess Waterfall.
Yeah.
Because it's...
No, he's
We're
going
wrong.
to die.
Sky. Now, here's your question. If you're Fizzle, do you just run straight up to do the incentive and nope out?
He's got 2 black magic casters with first level Brack and a Bane sword. He's going all the way.
Okay. Roger that. And blue stake.
Yeah, you've got a Masa in hand, a Bane sword strapped to your fighter's back, and you've got 2 casters who have level 1 Brack. No, you are just going to go kill Tiamat and call it a day.
And you're going to take blue stake fight.
Yeah, now Fizzle's not going to be leaving Sky without an air orb lit, unless it is just impregnable. Because yeah, look, he's not even bothering to loot.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't even be fighting these vampires, except he can't run away from them. They're vampires with wall.
I would probably still be fighting vampires because they are really good XP, and I'm only about level, and Fizzle's characters are only level 16.
Alright, so Dusk went ahead and opted for that slab. Goat's pirate in the meantime.
Goats is headed up Waterfall.
Yeah. So.
By the way, Fizzle did translate the slab.
Yeah. I just didn't see when he did that, but Shadow Mr. T about to also be picking up that Masa. Along with that Vorpal.
And the green snacks. So there's that
Fire
gas
3.
D.
Oh, but Shadow Mr. T is not in a great position here. Well, he's got enough sweepers, he should be fine. And once he has a Masa to sort of just stick in one of these characters' hands and call it good.
There's that Masa, and it's a neutral Masa.
Which, yeah, we take those.
Yeah.
Alright,
Heck,
so...
I'll take a Masa. I'll take a -2 or even -3 Masa.
So, it looks like Fizzle is into Sky. I think this is still Sky 1.
I think so.
And what does Marcy the robot
Saberbonk.
have for us today? That was
Saberbonk
a loose
and
saber.
Oxyale.
So, that's a loose power gauntlet.
And a Pro Ring.
Yeah. And Oxyale. So, okay. Goat's Pirate being rewarded for this, because I imagine part of the reason Fizzle favored Sky over Waterfall is to avoid double dipping the on-rack area. But, with the Oxiel there, you are not, like, it's an automatic single dip. Alright, so we're coming up on the Sky incentive here in a minute.
Okay, something that I always lose the thread on. The various slime type enemies.
Yeah.
Which ones are weak to what?
My standing rule, I think it's like, my standing rule is just hit them with the strongest spell you have and let Chaos sort them out. But no, like, I think it's Mucks are the only one that aren't resistant, and there's a tail.
That's a tail.
Okay, so that's good news for everyone who's running, like, fighter strats, because that's not an incentive chest you're gonna skip. It's not far off the beaten path. You would have to be in absolute go mode to not check that chest.
Right. I sometimes end up skipping that chest because I do end up often doing Sky in absolute go mode.
Yeah.
Now, you are Goat's Pirate. Do you check... Do you full clear... C? Because there's a lot of chests there.
So...
You've only found one loose item.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is goats... It's a tough call, I think, if you're Goat's Pirate. Because you know that there's...
You've done most of Volcano and did not get a loose item.
He really didn't. He did the top 4. He did Armory, and I don't even think he full cleared Armory before. I think he just did Armory, and then left. But how he does Sharknado Floor will tell us a lot about his thinking, and it looks like he is at least going to full clear Crack inside. And we've seen this play a lot, or at least I've seen this play a few times, where you full clear Crack inside, leave Mermaid alone, and just assume that you're not going to need the loose item, or that it's not going to be on Mermaid's side. And I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like Shadow Mr. T did take a wife. But,
yeah.
He knows where the good stuff is now, so he's not going to waste any time.
And Fizzlebeef Brax a Tiamat.
Yeah, like I said, this is the loadout for just clearing air in under, 40 minutes. So, Fizzle probably is going to go ahead and head on Rackwards next. Because he really doesn't have... Okay, yeah, he really doesn't have anywhere else I can think of to be, but based on his route...
Based on the routing, it looks like he's gonna do.
Zarda.
Titans and Zarda first.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, this is as good a move. Because okay, actually you're right. This makes more sense with how he's been routing. He's avoiding on rack until like he either has no choice or he has the Oxiale.
Right.
So. He's going to start it first to see if he can get some Oxiale. We'll see what comes out of that. Duskplume, meanwhile, is going to get their Oxiale and
that loose power bonk.
Which, yeah, that's one thing for folks who are unfamiliar. If in this flag set, the saber casting item is always going to be the power gauntlet, and the ruse casting item is always going to be the power staff.
And that was not a, there was nothing in Titan's Tunnel.
Yeah, so Fizzle, wisely having set a save point outside of Titan's West, can just reset out and walk straight to Sarda.
Nope, he warped out.
Okay, that too.
Fizzle warped out. And that's a rod. So I'm gonna do Earth, because I'm right here.
And there's an incentive location.
There's an incentive on Earth 4.
So, here's the thing at this point. We still need a floater.
Yes, we do.
And I think at this point a floater is required because we're still missing key and loot.
Yes, we are still missing key and loot.
So, I think one of those is...
Unless one of those is loose... Unless one of those is loose in C...
Well...
And the other is in Earth.
Well, here's the problem then. The floater's inaccessible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like... One of the two items that we haven't... One of the two items we have access to at this point, either the other loose item or the Earth item, is gonna have to be floater, because we're going to need access to the two floater lock locations in order to be able to access everything.
Is Cardia incentive on?
No. So, yeah, so we could have a situation where floater is here in Earth, and that leads to a loose item in Cardia. That is something that can happen, but one way or another, there's going to be a floater accessible somewhere that we... Basically, right now, Fizzlebeef has access to the floater. He just doesn't know where it is.
And Duskplume is clearing TFC floor.
As best as possible.
Other than actual TFC.
Itself, which is a valid option for where that loose item might be.
Oh. Key in Earth leads to a loose floater in TFC.
That would be evil. I like it. So, Shadow Mr. T opting for loot... opting, it looks like, to go full loot goblin, heading straight to Volcano after completing Ice Cave.
Now, I will say I have had really good luck on Spring Tournament flags with getting eye grind. Getting eye grind on that.
Oh, that looked like our fanfare, but I couldn't quite read it.
That's
right.
loot.
Alright, thank you. Thank you, Karan. So yeah, so that is our loot. So that means that our floater should be here in these 3 chests. Because I don't believe Fizzle saw it in the top 5.
No, Fizzle did not. Otherwise, Fizzle would have just gone straight to Lich.
Yeah, and it looks like I think Goats may have taken a wipe on Kraken. Because I'm not seeing that water orb lit. And I think I just saw it. Was that a ribbon I just saw? Okay, so
might have been.
So there's the herb, and I think this is going to be our floater.
I think it has to be.
Yeah, unless I am deeply confused over something, so...
Well, that is also a possibility. And Lord knows I have been confused enough.
Thank you, Riel Rissi in chat for clarifying that Goats did take a wipe to Kraken, so... So goats, I think, goats may be in a difficult position here. Because you take that wipe to Kraken. Oh, never mind. He's gone over to Mermaid's side, so he's also going to find his loot.
Yep.
I was about to say, if he'd gone back to Kraken's side and missed out
Also,
on, like,
also finds a katana -1. So
technically better than the Vorpal -1. Anyway, Lich is dead.
anyway, there goes a speed bump.
Alright, so that's 2 orbs lit for Fizzle and a fetch quest. So, I think he's probably gonna just circle around the south side of the southern continent, use that southern dock for Elfland.
Yeah.
Because at this point he knows his, like, either this herb is gonna lead to floater, or his floater is loose. So he might as well be positioned to go turn in that floater. If that is what it is, and we know it, that has to be the floater.
We know it has to be, because the other...
And I think with
Lefane
this,
guy.
I think this means that the bottle is at Lefane and gives the key.
Yeah.
So,
So I believe we are in no mode.
we the stream viewers now know what the chain of events is from here on out. The question is, how long is it going to take someone to decide to go to Lefane?
I'm thinking if I'm Fizzle, if I get the floater out of the herb, I'm going to Lefane.
Well, okay, but Fizzle hasn't found the Oxyel yet. I kind of forgot about that. He doesn't know Oxyel's at Waterfall.
Because Fizzle doesn't know Oxyel's at Waterfall. And Duskplume gets Duskplume Bracken's a Kraken.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Fizzle doesn't know Oxyel's at Waterfall, so he may go to Lefane first looking for the Oxyel.
Yep.
So he'll get his bottle, he'll get his key, he'll know that his Oxyel has to be at Waterfall or loose, but he'll almost certainly try Waterfall first. Get his Oxyel, and then it's just a question of when does he go to Mermaids. And yep, that's exactly the routing that. Good call on that one, DM.
It's the logical play the way Fizzlebeef has been playing. The way Fizzlebeef has been routing it.
I 100% agree. So, Duskplume going straight from water into sky. That's gonna make Earth and Fire a cakewalk. There is our bottle out of Lefane. And Goats looks like I think he's back to Kraken floor. No,
Nope.
he's on the empty floor.
And Shadowmart is full loot goblining Agama floor.
Yeah, I have to assume this is half because he's not seen either of those loose items yet.
Yeah.
Because
he hasn't been where the loose items are.
yeah, he hasn't left the southern continent yet, which it's one of those things I can't hate the play, but it's also like the way that these other runners have played it, it's just not working out.
Yeah. I'd like to think I would maybe not make the early sky play that Fizzlebeef did, but I'd like to think that I would have gone north before doing Volcano.
So, alright, here's the thing for Fizzle now. You've got a key in hand. Okay, I think he's going to loot Cardia and turn in this tail.
Yeah. Which,
And
I think that's a good play.
that'll naturally lead him to Waterfall.
It's a good play because it's on the way.
Yeah, and he's still He hasn't seen either of the loose items yet, so...
Because they're both in on-rack area.
Yeah. So I think that this is a, I know that I'm looking for loose items to finish this game. Kind of a play, and I want to turn in the tail anyway, because why wouldn't I turn in the tail? Goat's back to Kraken, though, with a much better spread. But you're gonna say something, DM?
No.
Okay.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, but we've got 2 fiend fights there on the bottom, with one of them wrapping up quickly.
And ironically, it's not the one that's usually more of the speed bump.
Okay, no. I will accept calling Lich a speed bump. Carry is not a speed bump.
Carry is more of a speed bump than Kraken 1.
I would disagree with that. Kraken 1, you can if you get lucky on your roll, you're gonna one-turn with a good brack. Carry has no such vulnerability, and Carry is surprisingly punchy, and better able to take punches than Kraken in some ways.
Oh no, Fizzle.
See, this is what I was about to speculate on, is he may chase this key. Because every key lock location outside of Marsh is a loose item option.
Okay, we have a question in chat. How did Fizzle just land the airship on the sand? That is a known glitch that has been there since the vanilla game, that you can land your airship on the caravan.
It is very convenient, because you land on the caravan, you walk out, you walk back in, you move on.
Oh,
So
Fizzle.
Fizzle bringing the ninja back up to start strapping some gear onto him. I don't mind it.
And Shadow is clearing armory floor. Goats is headed towards Sky and is finding Blue Stake.
Yeah. So Duskplume, I feel like Duskplume is in a strong second out of our on-stream runners. Fizzle is obviously in the lead of these 4, which, again, to remind everyone, this is a large group race. There's
17 more runners.
Yeah, assuming no one has forfeit.
We have 4 forfeits so far.
I wonder how many of them, I wonder what someone sees that pushes the forfeit, but, Fizzle checking everything that's not Waterfall is at least giving everyone who we see on stream a chance to kind of catch up. Not Young Me in chat, fessing up that they're one of the people who forfeit. Just out of curiosity, what'd you see that made you decide, you know what, I'm tired of this?
I know for me, if I get to an hour and a half, or if I'm seeing 3, 4, 5, if I'm seeing a significant percentage of people starting to finish, and I only have like one fiend done, that's an indication to me to just say done.
Alright, so for the folks who are wondering watching the VOD, apparently, Not Young Me forfeit after doing ice and warping after the tile, but not getting the chest. So that is unfortunate. You have my sympathies there. But we did see another ribbon in the Dwarven Armory. And there is an X-Cal.
There is an X-Cal.
So
Fizzle. So it doesn't matter that Fizzle didn't go and grab that Massa.
No, Fizzle grabbed the Massa.
Oh, Fizzle did grab the Massa?
But so at this point, Fizzle can strap that X-Cal onto the Red Mage
Fizzle doesn't... Oh yeah, Fizzle does have Red Mage.
Yeah, he can strap he can strap that X-Cal onto the Red Mage.
I was gonna say Fizzle can strap that Massa onto the Ninja, and that X-Cal on the Knight.
Also true, like, basically he's got a good selection of weapons to strap to whoever at this point.
Because that Red Mage already has a Sun plus stuff.
There's our third ribbon!
Yeah. And Not Young Me also mentions it doesn't look like a fast seed, and if you don't think you can beat your top 3, you know bout.
That is completely valid. Yada Moon in chat pointing out also that they couldn't do any of the qualifier runs that works got in the way. Just as a friendly reminder to folks
You do not
who
have
might be
to do...
watching this. Yeah, I was gonna say who might be watching this right now or might be catching the VOD the next couple of days. You don't have to do the qualifiers to join the spring tournament. It's just going to kind of affect how you are seeded for the pod phase of the tournament.
Yeah, I did one of the qualifier runs. I did last week's Thursday night qualifier, but I'm not doing the spring tournament. I would be an 0-3 speed. I would be less of a speed bump than Lich.
That is completely valid.
No, I'm sorry, more of a speed bump than Lich.
And Fizzle finally going to Waterfall, hallelujah. Looks like Goats is grinding in the desert.
Looks like Steak and Wings quick off of the hard reset, so
I don't hate it.
that's a good grind.
Shadow finally has made it out of the inner sea. And like everyone who is not Lord Fizzlebeef has opted to go to the on-rack area first.
Well, I don't hate that play.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it either. It's... The question, though, okay, yeah, Shadow Mr. T hasn't gone up to, Ordeals, though. This is straight over to on-rack. And...
Right.
Ordeals gave us the... Yeah, Ordeals gives us the Ruby, and... The
Ruby gives us the Rod.
Yeah.
Which is, I'll just say that is super green.
Yeah, so the rod gives us the herb, and the herb is what gets us the floater. So
yeah,
you have to do ordeals in order to get your floater, and you have to have your floater to get your key. So, hopefully Shadow doesn't fade ordeals until... Ooh, actually that... Yeah, okay, fortunately you can't fade ordeals until, like, you've cleared all the Fiend dungeons, since it does lock off that rod. Because that could very easily lead to a key bonk. If you're not... But we're not going to worry about that happening to anyone tonight. They have to get that ruby before they can, do anything in Earth.
And Fizzle is headed for... Wait, did Fizzle... Yes, Fizzle did get the,
Yeah, he got the Oxy warped out, so... At this point, this comes down to... Where does Fizzle full clear C looking for the loose? I feel like he does.
I feel like he does, because I feel like he's limited the loose to it has to be in C.
Well, no, he hasn't done Volcano.
Okay, Volcano.
So that's the thing, is he might... So, there are two plays at this point. You do crack inside like he's doing. You check all the chests and crack it. You don't come up with the loose item. You make the mermaid play.
I make the mermaid play, because I'm right here.
Yeah, I think Fizzle's gonna make the mermaid play as well. But, there is a universe where you say, at this point, there are more chests in Volcano than mermaids.
But if it's not, but it's so much faster for me to check mermaids because I'm here.
Yeah.
If it's here and I go to Volcano, then I have to come all the way back.
Right.
And I lose so much more time coming back than I do checking mermaids.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying there is a universe.
There is a universe where you do that.
Yeah, you already know you have one of the loose items. You know that you know that this is a deep fishing expedition at this point. And you also know that as of this point, as of this point, no one has finished this seed. And you know that runners had access to Oxyelf. I'm just saying, if you look at racetime.gg and metagame, I can see a universe where you metagame yourself in Volcano on the assumption if the loot is in C, someone should already be finishing. The speed that these seeds have finished, even with all the running around.
I can see you metagaming. I can see someone metagaming that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of our off-stream runners are doing that exact metagame right now.
We also get a lock shirt, and there's Dusk Plume lighting the fire orb.
Well, the Earth Orb.
Or Earth Orb, sorry.
Alright, so Dusk Plume is in an interesting position, because I think... Okay, yeah, they have their herb. So they're about to get their floater. I expect they're going to go ahead and finish Volcano, and then finish out their fetch quests to get their key. They're basically in go mode. Which, ooh, I think that puts them ahead of Fizzle.
Yeah, I think it does.
Because Fizzle still has to go fish out that loot. And Shadow might get his loot before Fizzle gets his.
Uh-oh.
Because he's going mermaids first.
I actually like that play. If you're working, and we have an eye grind. We have an eye grind tile on Sharknado.
No, yeah, I don't think Fizzle needs any more levels at this point. I think just kind of doing the dungeons he's done. Yeah, he's got a fighter. Yeah. His fighter's like level 23. His red mage is in the mid-20s. That's good enough.
I like the doing C first, or I like the doing mermaid side first play.
Yeah.
Assuming that, well, because Shadowmart fully loot goblined out Volcano. Shadowmart knows that.
Yeah, you're right.
That if it's not here, if it's not in C, then it's in one of the. Small.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I don't know if I necessarily would be doing this floor before cleaning out mermaids if I'm looking for loose. But that's just because this floor has ghosts on it, and I hate ghosts.
That's valid.
So Fizzle is gonna get to Kraken at... Alright, so Fizzle's gonna get to Kraken first. I don't know what I meant by that. Sorry, it's like almost 11 here.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah. Ooh, Dusk Plume.
Oh, Dusk.
Don't cursor over exit.
Be careful. Be careful.
But yeah, okay, so Duskplume is gonna clear out this carry fight.
Who are the favorites to win this year? It's the same as they always are.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, there are enough strong runners in this community, like, yeah, there are a couple of runners who there's at least the anticipation they're going to do well, but you can't take for granted that, a lot of folks are. I will say, bold prediction here, I feel like Will Bloodworth is going to have the best time running a solo red mage out of everyone. In the bonus stream. But Duskplume has lit their 4th orb, so they are now in operation. Let's clean up my loose ends and get ready for Temple of Fiends.
Yeah.
Chat, meanwhile, has nominated itself to win. Can't disagree with that.
Uh-oh. Kraken is doing Kraken things.
That's fine, we've got a knight with a Masa.
No, we have a knight with an X-Cal.
Okay, a knight with an X-Cal, whatever. It's a knight with a really big stick. So,
yes, I'll agree with Aducer. The winner is the viewers and the races we watch along the way.
Yep. Alright, so... yeah, so
Yes,
Duskplume...
Fizzle's going back in and doing Mermaid side.
Alright. So, Fizzle will soon have his go. So this kind of just comes down to Duskplume, how long it takes Duskplume to get to Lefane, run the bottle back, and get into Temple of Fiends. They actually, looking at this, Fizzle will probably get to Topher like a minute or so behind Duskplume.
Yeah, it's not gonna be much. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know that I would do... I don't know that I would be doing TFC floor first, just because of chest density.
Yeah, it's faster to check mermaids, and, like, I can see Fizzle maybe doing this if he wants to see if he can pick up a couple of... He's kept that Thief Dan the whole time, so it makes a little more sense for him to do this floor first, just to kind of do a little bit of walking, grinding while opening boxes.
That's true.
Get that Thief a little more experience going into Topher.
Duskplume is headed towards, turning in that bottle.
Yep. Yeah, they know at this point this has to be the key.
And Fizzle now knows that it must be on Mermaid floor.
And
finds it. There it is.
There it is. Both runners, both Fizzle and Duskplume hitting
their go mode at the same time.
Yep. Fizzle, I guess, didn't pick up Warp on that red mage. Or Exit. Might not have been able to pick up Exit.
May not have been able to pick up Exit.
Let's see here. Yeah, Exit was in slot 3 at level 5, so... And he hasn't been back to... And he didn't cross Melmond again on the way after class change. So, that was locked off for the black mage. Or the red mage.
Yep. Duskplume is picking up, looks like he's gonna pick up a couple of spells.
Yeah, they're picking up some spells. So, things to note. Life is at level 8 magic, and Life 2 is at level 7 magic.
Oof.
So, this is definitely one of those situations where you are hoping for a soft Topher, and if someone opted for a black belt grind, which it looks like Goat's Pirate might be.
Yes, Goat's Pirate is.
So...
That's a 42 black belt.
Yeah, so Goat's Pirate, if this Topher is...
If this Topher's chunky...
Goat's Pirate might still be able to pull out a very nice little surprise. But for the moment,
And Shadowmart is heading down to, Kraken.
I was waiting to see when you would remember the name of the squid.
We do have 2 finishers.
Yep, but we will go into who those finishers are once we have actually seen someone on stream finish.
Yes.
But speaking of people on stream,
Fizzle is running straight down to Carrie.
Yep, and Duskbloom will be our first runner
Into
Temple
Topher.
of Fiends, and oh, hi, 4 Frost Dragons, who I don't know what you have, but it's terrible.
Glare.
Duskbloom
Instant death.
Is immediately just like, yeah, I'm just going to do these. I have better things to do than to die horribly to these dragons. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think they're the ones who saw that glare too.
I believe so.
Alright. Goat's fighting that tail. Which... he's actually at a point where, you know, he might consider going ahead and using it. Because he's done grinding his black belt. Shadow Mr. T, meanwhile.
There's that 4 Ghastly fight. The fight that broke XP scaling.
Alright, so Shadow Mr. T heading toward Deals. Good call. Possibly the only call. So he'll be getting his ruby and be set on the path to getting everything he needs to finish the scene.
Fizzle Fizzle into Topher.
Yeah. Might be able to gain
Might
a
be
little
able to
bit of an
catch
edge.
up.
Yeah, like, because I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna be taking these fights like Duskbloom is, because Fizzle's already got the levels he wants. He's got a fighter in the. His knight is in the mid-20s. He's got at least 1 offensive caster in the mid-20s. He is perfectly comfortable with this setup, especially with a Masa and an X-Cal in hand.
And a katana.
Very true.
Uh,
But that is Opal armor in the validation chests. Opal +4, it looks like.
Ooh. That's a nice set of armor. So now the side question is Fizzle going to check validation?
I don't think he does. I think he is going to, yep. But that's fine. If I think Fizzle at this point is entirely in the mindset of armor is just going to slow me down anyway. I'm just going to... The best defense is making everything dead.
Well, that's not inaccurate.
Although he is going to stop for worms because tasty, tasty worms.
Because tasty, tasty XP.
That's what I said.
Fizzle onto Earth Floor.
Yeah, I think he just pulled ahead of Duskbloom with that.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's... You know, that's... What's the phrase I'm looking for here? That's the advantage of kind of taking your fights early on in the scene. Like getting your walking grind in as you are clearing things out, because while these fights are good experience in Temple of Fiends, they also tend to be oh, Duskbloom is straight up grinding.
And Lich 2 starts off with Bane.
That's fine. Fizzlebeef had ribbons on everyone who mattered. Emphasis on the past tense there.
Yeah, Duskbloom is doing a straight up grind.
Yeah, when you see someone turn that corner on that floor, the only thing they are looking for is experience. Fizzle doing a little bit of weapon juggling as he heads for Carry 2. I don't blame him. Carry 2 is the trap game of the fiends.
Yeah.
And we have, let's see here. Yeah, Duskbloom has gone ahead, hopped out to save those levels, and is probably going to head back in. I wouldn't be surprised if they are, yeah, they are done taking fights. I think they just wanted to get a couple extra levels. It looked like their party was in the teens to 20s.
Fizzle will make short work of Carry 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Carry 2. Either she's a complete pushover, or she is going to do terrible things to your party before you even sniff Kraken.
Yeah. Either Carry 2 is a complete pushover, or Carry 2 will do Kraken 2 things.
Yeah. My favorite is when Carry 2 is a gatekeeper, and then Kraken 2 is a pushover, and then Tia 2 is a gatekeeper.
Oh.
Like, Kraken 2 is a softie, so you get lulled into a false sense of security, and then Tiamat 2 happens. But, we're about to see what this Kraken 2 is like today. Fizzle keeping the fighter out front because the fighter's the only one who has a chance of surviving if Kraken decides to throw a punch. And Kraken also going for Bane.
Yeah,
Joke's
Kraken.
on him. No one who isn't wearing a ribbon is alive anymore because of Lich.
And Duskbloom to Earth Floor.
Yeah, that looked like 5 hits for 700. All hail Masa. But that was also 600 damage out of Kraken.
Yeah.
But he is through. Meanwhile, Goat's Pirate getting that rod. As Shadow Mr. T continues up Sky.
And here's a Tia 2.
Yeah, hopefully Shadow Mr. T is done looting. He's got both of his loose items. He just needs to get up to, get that rod to get on the course to getting that herb. So he can get that floater, so he can get his key.
And Shadow is not done looting. Shadow is loot goblining.
I don't know what he could be looking for here, except maybe armor.
And Fizzle's on
to Chaos.
On to Chaos, sets up the Applet of Ninja.
Goes ahead and gets that temper set up. Fast, temper, saber. With a Masa in hand, Fizzle's probably just about ready to start swinging after another round. Your 4 comes out early, but now you know you've got to get this this chaos taken out quickly.
Yeah. Because that Tier 4 will come back around.
Not even bothering with the ruse stick, just going straight into swinging, it looks like. That was 1400 damage. I do not think we need to worry about chaos for long.
And that
terminated.
Terminates chaos.
Okay, Fizzle, you can unmute now, you...
GG to you, Fizzle.
For viewers at home, Fizzlebeef jumped into the room about 5 minutes ago, and we've been having to sit here pretending that we didn't know he was done.
we have 8 finishers at this time.
But we'll only go up to Fizzlebeef because we're going to wait to see someone else on stream finish to go down. So, Wildham finished in first place at 1 hour and 12 minutes and 41 seconds. And then Fizzle finished in second at 1 hour 15:58. And we will continue the rest of the list when someone else finishes. That being said, so Fizzlebeef, what are your thoughts on Waterfall?
Boy, it took longer than I was expecting. There was a whole lot of just like, alright, I wanted gas Ds, so like, hooray, and then it was just like, step encounter, and then an encounter, and then an encounter, and then my prize was the bonk and the oxyel that I really didn't want to be there, but there it was. But I would rather it have been there than in Volcano, so,
Yeah, no, we realized, I think, about 30 minutes in that you were looking for the Oxyel everywhere except the on-rack area, which by that point we knew from everyone else that the Oxyel was in the on-rack area.
By the way, Carrie 2 has nuclear.
Cool.
Good old Carrie 2. An endless source of suffering. But yeah, so, yeah, no, that was a very Fizzlebeef run.
Mm-hmm.
Speed, power, and shooting yourself in the foot because you because you stuck to your guns about trying to not double dip on rack.
Yeah.
And Goats gets the herb.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shadow Mart is full clearing Sky.
So, at what point did you realize that that you were basically having to hunt down the floater?
It was, once I was in the outer sea, it was a case of, well, let's try Ordeals. Alright, well, it's not there. Well, let's try Sky. Alright, well, it's not there. I'm starting to run out of locations where this could be, and there's absolutely no way I'm finishing this seed without it, based on, like, the items and stuff that I've picked up so far. So, like, there's that pit in my stomach is just like, oh god, Floater's been in Volcano this entire time. And then when I finally saw it from, what was it?
Herb.
The herb.
Earth? Oh, the herb.
Yeah, the herb was in Earth, so...
Yeah. When I finally got it from the herb, it was just like, oh my god, alright, we did it, we got there. Not only are we in the air, but I feel like I did this about as fast as I could have, all things considering, so I feel like I might be in the lead for once.
So...
And you weren't far off.
Yeah, you basically, like... You pretty much, of the on-stream runners, were in the lead most of the way. The only point where you kind of fell behind was when it was down to you needing to find the loot. Dust Plume pulled into go mode a little bit ahead of you because they already had loot in hand when they got on the trail toward the floater. So, like, they were able to get into tow for a little bit ahead of you, but you pulled back ahead because they hadn't done as much of a walking grind as you did.
Right.
So they had to stop and take a few fights in Topher to kind of get their levels up. And they're down to a knight.
Uh-oh. Goats skipped turning in the herb.
Ooh. Oh no, and that's not going back toward Elfland.
No, it is not.
Oh boy.
Wait, Goats, you have everything. You have both loose items.
Oh no.
Oh no! Goats might not remember he doesn't have the key. Like, if he just goes straight down to carry, this may be a, okay, this may be a, I know that this is the floater, but for some reason I think it's faster to canoe to Volcano. We'll keep an eye on what he's doing, but right now Dusk Plume is...
yeah, Goats is going straight for carry.
Alright, so this may be a matter of...
Oh. Goats did Volcano... Goats did Armory floor earlier.
Well, we'll see what happens in about 2 floors.
And Dusk is on Tia 2. Tia
Okay.
2 with Quad X.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure Duskbloom found one of those ribbons. Not all three, like certain Fizzle Beefs who checked all of the key locations before Waterfall.
I mean, I didn't want all 3 ribbons, I wanted a loot.
Yes, but you wound up with 3 ribbons anyway.
Mhm.
Which was kind of impressive. I think Duskbloom does have 1 ribbon, because there was that 1 ribbon on Earth 4.
Mhm.
So I think
Yes, and-
everyone wound up with at least 1, because you weren't going to check the herb location first.
Right.
And Goats did go straight down to Carrie.
Okay, so, the million-dollar question. Does Goats remember that he doesn't have a key? Or does he think this is a floaterless seed and he's about to key bonk? Alright, Duskbloom. Putting that knight in slot 3. Good job, Duskbloom.
Okay, I don't understand why you do that with everyone else dead.
So, basically, it's to maximize your chances of getting an RNG lock. Because of the way that Chaos is... the way that the game determines who to swing at, or who to target with an attack, you just maximize your chances that Chaos is going to walk predictably through the RNG table over and over to get the RNG lock. It's black sorcery that I barely understand. But
Noted.
multiple devs have said that slot 3 maximizes your chances of actually triggering an RNG lock. Fizzle, if you understand the black magic better than I do, feel free to interject.
I do not. I always felt like it was probably an even and different chances between slot 3 and slot 4, but it's all intuition for me.
Yeah, the important thing is, you want to have your fighter in one of those back 2 slots, because when forcing Chaos to reroll the targeting of his attack does make it easier to land the RNG lock.
Okay.
Kiana Moon does point out, though, that Chaos is packing that Cure 4.
Yes,
So...
but it's at the front of the...
It's the second spell in, I think.
Yeah. But it looks like whatever loop Duskbloom's gotten Chaos into is very spell heavy, so this may be a situation where
And
never
there
mind.
we go.
Duskbloom managing to finish off Chaos with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 20 seconds for a nice 6th place finish. Finishing between them and Lord Fizzlebeef, we have Dead Pulse at 118.36, Cheesenator at 119.01, Jay Scheidel at 123.25. And, that concludes the list for the moment. Meanwhile, it looks like Goat's Pirate did clear Carrie, did remember that he needs a nice little clickety-clack to open the doors in Temple of Fiends, and is about to be rewarded with a bottle that will lead to a key.
Hey, I will say I don't understand not turning in the herb on your way from Earth to Volcano.
Yeah.
It's on the way. Why?
When he finishes, if he wants to come chat with us for a few minutes, we can interrogate him.
And Shadowmart finishes off air.
Yeah. Still has to go do everything, like that vanilla rod to get the herb, to get the airship, to go to Lefane to get the bottle, to go.
Yeah.
And there's a map for the folks playing the drinking game.
And there's a key for Goat's Pirate.
I do enjoy when we see a full whatchamado. Also, Duskplume is waiting down in the waiting room. Someone who has two-factor authentication turned on wants to pull them up. Fizzle.
That's me. Hang on. Oh, there we go.
Duskplume, GG.
GG, who gave that lich crack?
Wait, crack. I got the poison smoke.
I was gonna say I didn't see crack. I saw poison smoke.
I'm pretty sure lich had crack for me.
I mean,
Oh, boy.
the important thing is Lich demanded respect tonight.
Yeah. Very rude.
Yeah. Yeah, you say that name with some respect tonight. You say that name Speed Bump with some respect.
So Duskplume, how do you feel about fetch quests?
I mean, it's inevitable at some point, isn't it? I'm glad that I made the play to check C for loose and that I had that out of the way quickly.
Yeah, that worked out better than Fizzlebeef's plan of I want the Oxyel before I go near the on-rack area.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. You actually beat Fizzle into Topher. The only reason he kind of got ahead of you was he had the levels he needed to kind of finish things out, where you had to stop and do that mini grind at the end there.
Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable going in trying to take out Topher at 19 or 20, and knowing what was in there now, that was a good idea.
I landed in Topher. My three main characters were at 24, 25, and then my thief was at 19. He got levels today because I wanted more temper charges.
And surprisingly, the thief survived where the black mage didn't.
Yeah, because he couldn't equip ribbons. That was his malice. I tried equipping a ribbon and I forgot, and it's just like, well, I got this other meat puppet here. He gets to have a ribbon today, I guess.
I actually forgot that was one of the malices that was out there. So let's talk about the fighter's malice today.
I believe that was no bracelets.
No
Yeah,
bracelets.
that was a really bad one. Couldn't buy a gold +3 or gold +4 for him.
Yeah, was
Bad, awful.
Was a struggle, but we had to settle for
malice.
iron armor.
The lamest malice ever.
You had to settle for iron armor. Duskplume validated their seed and pulled out Opal +4.
Ooh, okay, that's fair. I did land ice armor at some point, but the majority of the
ice
seed
armor
was done with
somewhere.
majority of the seed was done with like iron plus something. It's just like, meh, this'll work. I got a ribbon,
Yeah.
it's fine.
The other thing that worked in Fizzlebeef's favor, there was a Vorpal -1 and a Masa in the 6 chest room in Ice Cave.
See, I was going to go there, and then my thief died while I was just about to go down. I'm like, you know what? I'm really not trying to tempt ice right now. I'm just going to try and get through this.
My thief died in the river on the way to ice, and I said, hooray!
Those hydras, man.
Did you see the death touch Ochos?
No, thankfully.
They
I
I
existed.
saw-
Those two.
I saw someone nope. I saw you noping out of the Ocho fights, but I did
Yep.
not know why.
Yeah, death touch. Not even once.
So Goat's Pirate, meanwhile, has made it down to Kraken 2, is out a black mage, but still has a, has a white mage and a level 40-something black belt.
He had a
40
thief.
Yeah, Goats opted to bring a black belt and then spent a lot of time in the northwestern part of the Mirage Desert.
because Steak and Wings was quick off of the hard reset.
Got it. I know I saw blue steak, and I saw that it had like 700 health or something stupid.
Yeah. But Goats still has like a helpful party member, and then the
Not
never
anymore.
mind. Okay,
The
so
helpful
anyway,
party member is the ruse stick.
Goats has a black belt, a ruse stick, and a dream, and a saber gun.
And a saber bog.
Oh, that reminds me. Shout outs to my mighty thief, whose mighty 3-hit 3 damage was enough to take out Tia 2.
Every little bit counts.
That is not a commentator curse. That happened 10 minutes ago. I am not going to take credit for causality violation.
I mean, we're
Okay.
2,000 years in the past. What's 10 minutes?
True.
Okay, we're gonna need to talk to Shadow Mr. T about his spelling after this race, because none of those letters are in Loot Goblin, except the O. He's still looting. I'm not the only one who's noticing that. He's still looting.
He is full looting everything.
Math Girl, don't think about the time travel plot of Final Fantasy 1. It's not worth it.
Does he have both loose?
Yes.
Yeah. He's been to Waterfall. He's got the loot. No. You have to realize, Shadow Mr. T was the last one of you out of the Inner Sea because he full cleared Ice and Volcano. And I believe either... There we go. Okay, yeah. Ghost Pirate finishes in 11th place with an official time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 48 seconds.
Okay, going between after Dusk Plume, we've got Climentitus at 125.01, Danny 3883 at 125.55, Devious RNG at 128.45, Life Reboot at 129.10, and Goats Pirate at 132.48.
And I think based on his comments in the race room, Goats Pirate will probably not be joining us this evening. I think he was a little bit tired of the seed by that point.
Can't blame him.
Can't blame him,
Yeah,
but
I don't either.
we'll keep an eye out if he decides to come join us in the waiting room. Otherwise, but that does remind me, Dusk Plume, good work on remembering to put your sole surviving character in slot 3 before going into Chaos.
I know there's something with an RNG loop there. I don't entirely understand it, but I know there's something.
Well, if you've been listening to if you were listening like while you were waiting for the stream to catch up to reality, you would have heard none of us understand it. We just know that that's how it works, and so we follow the rules.
It doesn't matter if anybody understands it. If there's something, that's fine. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Well, as an engineer will say, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid.
It's true.
I can agree with that.
That is a very fair point. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think of other things about this seed that I felt were worth bringing up. Oh yeah, no, Fizzle, I did appreciate how, like, with a Bane Sword in level 1 Brack, you were just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna do Sky first.
I may have yeeted the Bane Sword 3.5 seconds in when I needed to afford the crystal.
Okay, I thought I saw you sell something, but I wasn't sure what it was. Okay. You still had 2 Brack casters, and it was level 1 Brack. You were fine.
That's true. Yeah, I did the math on that. It's like I got Brack casts, I got nuke casts, whatever. We're fine. Let's go.
And Shadowmart finds the herb in the last possible chest.
I feel like he's going to stop looting at this point because I think he's out of chests.
He's out of chests
Unless
in
he's
Earth Cave.
full loot Cardia. Which he does have a tail, he might still do that. But yeah.
So I did keep the Bane Sword, and that's what got me to go to Sea first and then Sky before messing around with anything else.
I was, I think, level 19 coming out of Sky, so like I had plenty of power. It's just 90% of the time you don't go to on-rack without the Oxyel, and the other 10% of the time Oxyel's in Waterfall and you hate yourself.
It was the part where you started clearing out Cardia to avoid going to Waterfall that amused me the most, Fizzle. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I will say that actually that play actually does make sense.
Oh yeah, you're
Clearing
right.
out
That part
Cardia
made
first
sense.
makes sense because it's on the way.
It was when he then went to Elfland Castle and made it clear his intention to clear all of the key lock chests that I got amused.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like, hey,
Shadowmark-
Keylock.
Shadowmark clears Earth.
2 ribbons.
Oh, that would have been handy.
Yeah,
It's pretty
one was
good.
one was in the Dwarf Armory and the other was in Temple of Fiends, I think.
Yep.
I hate the Dwarf Armory. There's always something in there. And I never check it.
It especially sucks when Dwarf Cave's like one of your first checks and Key is like one of the last checks, because you're not going to go back to Dwarf Armory.
Yeah, unless you're still hunting for a banjo or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Most people aren't going to do it. The pressing thing is you did that, Fizzle, and you're still way, way better than I am.
Oh, I followed the numbers, and the numbers betrayed me today.
Yeah,
I don't know. I might have almost been competitive in this seed.
I mean, it's one of those things where, considering how many people decided it wasn't worth it. But well, there's our floater.
There's
so
our floater for Shadow.
Shadow, are you just going to go to Lefane, get your bottle, get your key, and be done with this?
No, go check the Elf Castle chests. Go check them. Yeah, you're doing it.
Yeah, he didn't check the armor. Oh no, he doesn't have the key yet.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so
Wait, has he been to mermaids? No,
Yeah,
he
he's
just
got
needs
the
a
loot.
key.
no, Shadow Mr. T has done everything he needed to do. He just did so while opening every last box.
Oh, level 6 wall. That was the thing I was going to go get if I didn't open every ribbon.
So, since y'all can't see the notes since we're in our Discord tonight, both of the life spells, like Life 2 was in On-Rack, Life was in Gaia.
And Shadowmart is headed for Cardia.
Well, he's got the tail in
Just
hand.
headed to Bahamut.
Oh yeah, I gotta try to figure out where Red Mage gets level 7 spells, because I could have sworn it was 25, but apparently that's wrong.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't run
Jesus
Red
said he's
Mage.
26.
Oh, that's probably right.
And Cheese is a very smart person, so I'm going to trust Cheese.
Oh, that's so annoying. I would have had a charge if I didn't... That was, I guess, my trade-off, is I cashed in my 1 Life 2 charge for 3 temper charges on a ninja. Well...
Womp womp. I mean, it came in handy in the end.
That's true.
And let's just face it, no one important died. It's fine.
Well, hold up. I just saw on Shadow MRT's side. There was a temper sword somewhere?
Yeah. Don't ask me where it was. Shadows opened a lot of chests tonight. I cannot emphasize this enough. But I think that the loot goblin has finally been satisfied because he's going straight for Lefane. Yeah, I saw when he got it to Current, but I don't remember where it was.
Yeah, I did not notice. I was watching one of the other streams.
I am currently rewinding.
And Shadowmart heading in to pick up that bottle.
Marsh Keylocked? I don't think it can be Marsh Keylocked. I don't see how he would have gotten in.
I want to say it might actually have been like in the upper reaches of Earth.
And
He did find now. Shadow did find a Quake shirt in the Northwest chest on March 3.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to say that the temper item might have been. It was either like Earth 2 or Sky 3.
Mhm.
Actually, no, it was Sky 3. I remember now because
Oh.
I vaguely remember seeing that out of the corner of my eye and thinking,
ah,
wait, is he looting Sky 3? But a lot of other things were happening, so I didn't notice. So I didn't
Oh, that's
comment on it.
super awkward because when I hit Sky 3, I was just like, do I want to full clear this? I could use the levels, but I don't really want to sink the time into it. So let's just do greed boxes and go. Well, spit.
and Shadowmart's gonna get that key, and then presumably gonna head for Topher.
Yeah, I think so too. We should be seeing a Topher dive momentarily.
And here come. So, before we finish up, I would like to give a big shout out to our forerunners on stream: Dusk Plume, Goats Pirate, Lord Fizzlebeef, and Shadowmart 241. Also, a shout out to our trackers tonight: MathGirl718 and Caront. Our restreamer,
It's also Math Girl.
who's also Math Girl. And especially to my partner here in the booth, Woat. You should give all of those folks a follow.
Not that last guy. He's kind of a loser. Follow DM Stewart 1981 instead. But nah, it's one of those things. This has been this has probably been one of the longer seeds I've seen under these flags.
Yeah, the forced loop around the inner sea is always just kind of an audible sigh moment.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of pulling for the ship or floater to be in Volcano.
I mean, if it wasn't an ice, that was gonna have to be my next stop.
Yeah.
And the Interloop Goblin was not quite satisfied, but that's not a bad thing because that means Opal +4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that Opal +4 was very satisfying. Thank you very much.
Oh, he has Dragon +4.
Oh, dang.
Okay, never mind. Still,
I don't know where he got that. That would have been nice.
Don't ask us! Again,
You're the commentators.
There have been a
Good.
lot of boxes open in that corner tonight, okay? We weren't paying attention to the vast majority of them.
Shadowmart's open just about every box.
And the ones he didn't open, Fizzle did. Actually, yeah, I think the ones he didn't open were the ones he did open, Fizzle Beef.
I mean, that's just teamwork. Like, we gotta work together to give the best show possible for the audience, and that means dividing and conquering every box in the game.
Okay,
Well,
so
no,
you know
no.
what? You, watching the YouTube video right now in like 4 months. You know what? You've made it this far into this VOD. Here's a fun game. Go back, rewatch it, make a list of where every item in the game was, because you know where every item in the game was. Help the engagement on this video. Do it.
So, actually, what the other thing that would have made this better would have been Blackout Bingo.
Actually, I guess we don't know where every item is because no one opened the carry 2 chests or checked the Mazza box.
Did anyone check TFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fizzle.
Yeah.
Dedication to the craft, man.
Yeah,
I
okay,
checked-
actually, that is a question I do have. Why?
Yeah, crack. See? Crack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why check
alright.
that? Why check that floor before going down to mermaids? Was that just
'Cause
sort
of
of a
Because if it's there, I can just walk out.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, my speculation was it was an excuse to pick up a little more XP on that ninja before you went into Topher.
That was also helpful. The two goals were to get Ninja to 19 and Red Mage to 25, because I thought 25 was where I'd get that level 7 charge for that life 2, but It was like 50% successful, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess in my mind, it's just like, I don't want to deal with ghosts. I'm going to go straight to mermaids and hope it's there.
Because the chest density is higher.
Okay, yes, that as well, but I also don't feel like...
Well, yes.
Ghosts are never good in Final Fantasy Randomizer, because either they have a script and they suck, or they don't have a script and they suck because they hit like trucks because they're ghosts.
I mean, I know that I checked that floor first because I had a white mage with exits, so if I didn't find anything on mermaid floor, I was going to exit out and then house and go back in.
I prefer to look at the bright side. I don't see ghosts as a threat. I see ghosts as an opportunity to use this Fire 3 that's awkwardly sitting in my inventory.
There is that.
Hey, that 3, made it a little bit easier to justify going to Ice Cave, at level, what? 7, 8?
7 or 8.
Oh, hey, Fire 3 is perfectly good in a lot of dungeons that are not C. Fire 3 in C is the saddest thing, especially when it's the only 3 in my first 4 levels of Black Magic.
This is fair.
Yeah. And there's not a fade, and Nuke is at 5.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fade, you just needed to, go to the level 8 shop in Gaia.
Level 8 spells? How do you use those?
You class change.
Yeah, but I did that. I didn't get no level 8 charges.
You have to make sure the Black Mage doesn't die.
That's really hard.
Yeah, I know. It's like level 8 magic's kind of an Easter egg that the devs put in to kind of just give the people who really took on the extra challenges a little bit of a reward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've got a Kraken 2 on Shadow Mr. Tease. Ooh. And ouch.
That's a big hit.
Kraken 2 punching like Kraken 2 does.
Fine, it's just the Black Mage, and the White Mage can probably actually has some Life 2 charges. It's fine, the White Mage is going to have significantly less Life 2 charges. Again,
yes, Kraken 2 is doing Kraken 2 things.
You can't accuse me of a commentator's curse. This happened 10 minutes ago.
Nah, it still counts.
Yeah, Cheese Knitter makes a good point. That White Mage is out of Life 2 charges.
Oh.
Because they were used after Crackbane Lich.
Hey,
oh boy.
Cheese, why do you think I'm paying attention to the important things happening on stream right now?
What do we pay you for?
Okay, well there's your first
wait,
right
they're paying Woat? You're paying Woat?
No, they're not! I was about to ask if they're paying you!
Oh, that's awkward. I shouldn't have brought that up. Never mind.
Fizzle, I'm gonna need to have a conversation with the admin team after this wraps.
Back rubs and high fives for everyone. That's their volunteer payment policy.
Don't forget the butt slaps.
Redeemable at SG Live coming this fall.
I mean, it's one of those things. There are several members of the admin team that I assume actually give really good back rubs, so I'd almost be okay with that. But anyway, we've got a White Mage with a temper sword buffing the fighter. It looked like.
Yes, that is accurate.
The loot goblining actually coming in clutch is the perfect denouement to this story arc.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Did
yeah,
I see a fast item in there too?
I don't know. Again,
Doubtful.
there were a lot of boxes that got opened. I don't know what all happened, but we'll see. Assuming that that Shadow's stream ever moves again.
I think
Okay,
he's just
Bath
staring at his screen like I didn't
Ba-
think I'd get this far.
Bath Girl, you're the one you're the one I'm supposed to be asking why his Shadow froze. Okay, Math Girl confirming that Shadow's stream is frozen.
Shadow, please.
So
Well,
I'll ask.
tune in
so
next
I'll
time.
ask our.
I
So I'll ask
think-
Dusk. I'll ask Dusk and Fizzle.
Well, hold on. I think I figured out the thing here. I think Shadow closed his stream because he didn't realize that we weren't done yet. So
Ah,
I think we're gonna need to pull him in here to find out how his race ended. So Fizzle, he's in the waiting room. Oh, his internet died. He just said in chat. Okay.
Oh, alright.
Well, that's
So-
fine. Either way, we're about to get Shadow to narrate the end of his race.
GG to you, Shadow Mr. T.
Okay, Shadow, are you with us?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to ask you about your loot goblin tendencies, but because of when the stream died, we're gonna need you to tell us what the chaos fight was like.
Things and stuff, basically. Tier
Okay.
4 came out first, which I was glad I was still buffing during that bit.
Okay, more importantly, so several people thought they saw you had a fast item. Did you have a fast item?
No. At least I
Okay,
don't
so
think I did.
you had a temper item, and obviously you had the saber and the ruse stuff.
Yeah.
So so two questions then. One, did the white mage survive? And two, how close was your knight to death before you finished off chaos?
Funnily enough, they were both pretty close to full health. I mean, Chaos did smack me through a decent amount of evasion, so I had to cure for both of them up after spells coming out as well.
Alright. So, okay. The real question. You know you don't have to open every box after you find both loose items, right?
I was looking for one ribbon. That's all I wanted. It just took forever to find it.
Ribbon! That was like... Oh, you did Earth last. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
He did Earth
Yeah.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
Earth last, and the other two ribbons were key locked. Okay,
Yep.
everything makes sense now. Yeah, the other two ribbons. Okay, so I already pointed this out before you got in here. Between you and Fizzlebeef, y'all opened basically every box outside of Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Wow.
Because Fizzle was determined to not go to Waterfall without Oxyale.
Yep.
And you last locationed the ribbon that was basically on the critical path.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the other two were in Dwarven Armory and Keylock Temple of Fiends. Which Fizzle checked before he went to Onrak.
And maybe it's just because I'm a bad player, but I think I would have done all of the known incentive locations before I started looking for loose.
So the problem with that is that where the loose locations are, it tends to be much friendlier routing if you just grab them as you go. I make a point of avoiding the early volcano only because I'm stubborn and because I believe in the power of memes. And I believed in the meme of oops, I'll see all the way up through today, and I still believe in it. I just didn't want to commit without Oxyale.
Wasn't the Oxyale in Waterfall?
What?
Sure was.
That's why Fizzle opened every box that you didn't.
So I'm trying to think, because there's no loose in Volcano. That was
Right.
annoying, because I basically
Right.
full cleared that.
Right,
Mhm.
it was the Saber
It was
Bomb.
Waterfall. It was Saberbonk in Waterfall and the loot in Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bypassed checking Waterfall without Oxiel, and I went straight to Sarda, got the rod, looted the loose in Earth, got my floater, and then I full cleared Cardia, and then I full cleared Keylocks, and then I finally went to Onrak and was just like, oh my god, like it's either here or Volcano, and we're not gonna bring ourselves to doing Volcano, so let's just do this.
Yeah, but yeah, wasn't it like what? The Ruby was in Ordeals, right?
Correct, and that's what
Yeah.
led to the rod to the herb to the floater.
Yep. And I was like, well, I'm up by Ordeal, so I might as well go do Sky while I'm up there.
Same.
Chat, actually validating my speculation that skipping the mermaid side was a valid play that I could see someone making. Based on the fact that you did already have one loose in hand. But I think everyone here opted to skip, opted to full clear C before going elsewhere, unless they had already been elsewhere. Shadow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I might have skipped mermaids if the loose in Waterfall was an incentive item for like progress and not the saber bonk, but since it was the bonk, like, I knew that there was probably a really good chance that the loose that was still out there was going to be necessary to complete the seed, so I still thought I got to clear what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did speculate that there might have been some metagaming that someone might have considered, like, considering when most of y'all were kind of looking for that second loose. Because actually, it was specifically Fizzle. Like, when you were at about the hour mark and just now getting, not the hour mark, like the 45-minute mark.
Sure.
And just kind of getting into C. Did the thought cross your mind, okay, I know that the Oxiel has been available from the get-go, and no one has dot done. Was there any temptation, like, if you didn't see a dot done by the time you were done with Kraken, to go, the other loose, which I know has to be progression, might be, like, in Volcano, I should just skip mermaids and go for the lower percent play?
I had the idea the other loose is in Volcano the moment I canoed away from it, heading towards my boat to leave the inner sea. But it's one of those things of like, this is a play I'm committing to, so I'm gonna see this through to the end until there is no possible option but to declare defeat and go back and do the thing we should have done like an hour ago.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those things, because like when you were going down Kraken's side, that was a discussion Stuart and I had for a minute there of just like, you know, is the Volcano, like, is the Fade Mermaids go Volcano? Because if it were in C, someone should be close to finishing the seed by now, kind of a thing. But regardless, we've been at this for a little while now, and I think we probably need to start wrapping up so that RPG Limit Break's channel can be returned to them. So, let's see. Let's just go down the list from in order of completion. So, Fizzle, any final thoughts?
Fix my times, hooray!
Okay, good enough. Duskplume, anything from you?
I hate Hydras and Peds and Lich.
I forgot about those Blizzard Peds early on.
I was so happy to find a 4-pack there right off the reset. I was like, okay, great, here's my grind. Okay.
Or not.
Blizzard just comes out.
Alright. And Shadow, what about you?
Well, Lich was annoying. Ocho's had Death Touch. That wasn't fun. And
Alright.
damn internet. Why? I even looked at my video thing and it's not there. That whole like stretch is cut out.
It's fine. It's one of those things where it sounds like you didn't have a nail-biting finish, so, you know, who cares?
Yeah.
We're here for the entertainment and you weren't entertaining. Boo. I kid.
I know you are.
Good. Alright, DM Stewart, you got any final thoughts?
Um, it the play is the play. I'm looking forward to the pods and the brackets.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Goats Pirate! Do you want to jump into the booth real quick so we can talk about the seed any, or you good? I'm going to take final thoughts are to be Goats Pirate's full and complete opinion on the seed. But yeah, no. So just to kind of put a bow on things, thanks again to RPG Limit Break for letting us hang out and be ourselves, you fools. Um, if you are watching this and haven't already, open up another tab to go follow Duskplume, Lord Fizzlebeef, Goats Pirate, and Shadow Mr. T 241 on Twitch. Go open. It's 2022. I know your browser does tabs now. Go do it. This video's about to end anyway. You can go do that now. But also, gratitude to MathGirl718 and Courant for handling the tracking and restreaming and all that fun stuff. And thank you, DM Stewart 1981, for hanging out, providing a second voice here in the booth so that people don't have to suffer through me for the entire length of the seed. And yeah, thanks to everyone. Thanks to you for watching. And yeah, spring tournament starting in a few days. Sign up if you haven't and want to. You have to do the qualifiers. Go in there, beat the. It's prison rules. You come in here, you fight the toughest guys to show that you're not to be messed with. Anyway, I think it's gonna do it for us. Take
That'll
care,
do it.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.